Wow, Mama is super dewy. I was outside passing football with the kids and just came in and I'm like, oh, I'll film another video. Does anybody else pass in mink lashes? Probably not. So anyway, today's video is going to be on my favorite Morphe brushes. A lot of you have been asking me to do this video, especially since Morphe came out with their E series. That's what I'm gonna call it because I cannot say the word Elite. I can't say it. There's something wrong with my mouth. I can't say certain words with L. I don't know why. I'm not perfect. Sorry, people. So we're just going to call it the E series. Okay? Work with me. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and show you guys my favorites. Now, this is from all Morphe brushes, not just the E series, but most of them are from the E series because that brush collection is by far, hands down, the best collection that Morphe has ever done. Ever, ever, ever. Okay, so before we get into most of the E series brushes, I want to show you guys this G0. Is this not one of the largest powder brushes you have ever seen? This is from the Gunmetal Set, but this brush just came out like a few weeks ago. This brush is amazing for powder. It's very soft. It's ginormous. It doubles as a weapon. Really, really great powder brush. I just washed mine because it was filthy. I love this brush. And is this not like the best microphone if you're just in your room by yourself pretending that you're Taylor Swift? Not that I do that. The next brush from the Gunmetal series is the G2. You guys have seen me use this brush every day. Every time I film a video of me putting makeup on, I use this brush. I use it to blend in my concealer. So amazing. I just love everything about it. I love the softness of it. It's not too dense. It's not too flimsy. It just blends concealer in better than any other brush I've ever used. G2, you need it. The M501 brush from their Flawless collection I like for doing highlighter, and I actually got that tip from, I think it was Jacqueline that used it for highlighter. It's nice because it is fluffy, but it's still small, so you can really be precise, but it's not like you're using a little tiny baby eyeshadow brush. Like it's, I don't know, it's just the perfect size for a very intense highlight. I wouldn't use this if you just want like a very blown out, light, subtle highlight. This is more if you want to be seen from space. I mean, it's technically an eye brush and it is awesome for in the crease, just for like putting in your transition shade. Very versatile brush. I love this one. I use this a lot. A lot. Oh, and by the way, guys, if I don't mention a brush in this video, it doesn't mean that I hate it or I don't use it any longer, like if I've talked about it in the past. I'm just kind of giving you some of my more recent favorites. Yeah, I'm starting to sweat. I'm gonna pull out the penguin. Whew, Mama is hot. Okay, AC is on. Woo, you guys, I am hot. Okay, do I want to get into the E series? I guess we will, because most, like I said, most of the brushes are from that collection. Okay, so the E series has a ton of brushes. Like most of these brushes are from the E collection. Elite. I'm going to do face brushes first, then we'll get into eye brushes. The E1 is a really, really great powder brush. I'll compare it to the G0 so you can see like the difference. The G0 is a lot more rounded. This one's more of like a buffing brush, but I use it for powder. I mean, I wouldn't really use this for foundation because it is ginormous. I mean, just depending on what you want. They're both extremely soft. Oh my god, they're so soft. Oh, I love them. So both of these I love for powder. I just kind of grab whichever one is closer. I feel like they both do the same thing pretty much. I do like this one if I really want to get like a good heavy application of powder, because you can really like buff it onto, not buff it, like press it onto your skin. This one I tend to use for a lighter application just because it's a little bit less dense. Yes. Had to think about that for a minute. And then the E3 is my new favorite blush brush. This is just the perfect size. Do you love how I have to do every motion as I talk about it? This is just the perfect size for blush. This is such an amazing brush. I love this brush. How many times am I gonna say brush in this video? Another brush that I am into is the E33. You guys saw me use this in my, what video was that? The Pop of Color inner corner. This I like for after I put powder on, like after I do foundation, concealer, and powder, I just take this with no product on it and just kind of make sure that everything is blended. So soft. I know, I keep saying it, but they are so soft. Like they feel like super high-end luxury brushes. They really do. And the E6 I've been using for foundation. There's actually two Morphe brushes that I love for foundation. Let me go find the other one. I'll be right back. This is the E31. You can see the difference in these. They're both like pretty much the exact same brush. I like the E6 because it's a little bit smaller. But again, depending on what you want, the E31 is a bigger flat top, and then the E6 is a little bit smaller. They both are good for foundation. I use both of them for foundation. Again, if you want a big one or a small one. Exact same brush, different sizes. And then the M439, this is the one that I've been using probably more than any other brush for foundation. I just like the size of this one. I tend to use this with my Giorgio Armani because I can really like press the foundation into my skin. The E6 I use more if I want to like really buff out a foundation, but the 439 I will use for a foundation that I want to keep as much coverage as I can, because then like with this I just kind of press it into my skin. I don't really buff it. So it just depends what motion you're going to be doing with foundation. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just this I'll use for if I want like a lighter application. This, like I said, I use if I want to keep the coverage really high. Does that make sense? And you need to stop doing the motions. The E2, I guess I'll show this to you guys. This one is similar to the E1. It's a little bit smaller. And I mean, it does the exact same thing. The E1, 2, and 3, I feel like are the most popular ones that people are really talking about. So powder, and blush, or powder. You can use a brush for whatever you want. I'm just telling you guys what I use it for. The E2 is another really good powder one if you want something a little bit smaller, but the E3 definitely I would reserve for blush unless you just want like a concentrated application of powder. Brushes should be very versatile. When you get a brush, you should be able to use it for like 10 different things. I never keep one brush just for one thing. Another brush I want to mention is the M438. This is pretty much the exact same thing as the Sigma F25, which you guys have seen me use 1,000 times to put on my highlight. I used this guy today and it just puts the highlighter on like in the perfect spot. It's not too big, it's not too small. I'm a huge fan of this shape of brush. I also use this to set my under eye concealer. I've used it before to like carve out my cheekbones. This is a very versatile brush depending on what you need it for. I feel like everybody should have like 3 of these in their collection. I think I have like 5 and I use every single one of them. Okay, let's talk about eye brushes. First off, the E22 is the brush that I used today for like the outer edge to get that like dark. I used Makeup Geek Bitten on the outer edge of my eye, and I used it with this brush and I just took it all through and like on the outer part of my lid. This brush, the E22, I'm gonna say it again, this brush is phenomenal. Out of this world, amazing. These eye brushes, I'm telling you guys, if you skip over the face brushes to the eye brushes, I might not be mad at you. I think the eye brushes are their shining star. Like the face brushes are amazing. These eye brushes are out of this world. Phenomenal. Now the eye brushes, there are so many to choose from. A lot of them are very similar. The biggest one, like the largest, fluffiest one for doing your transition shade is the E27. This is an amazing dupe for, where is my, here it is, the E40 from Sigma. This is the closest brush that I have found to kind of measure up to my ride or die. You guys know how much I love the E40. They're similar. Now the E27, I always forget the number. The E27 is not quite as fluffy, but it does the exact same thing. I even set this one aside today to see if I could do my eyes with this without the E40. No trouble. I did it. My eye makeup, I think it looks good. So this in the crease, girlfriend, it is good shit. And then the one that I already talked about, the E22, this one's a little bit more pointed. Like if I compare them, you can see, which is why I like it for doing like the darker shade on the edge, because it's more precise. So these two I have been loving. Okay, you guys, the E36, before I had this brush, I thought that all pencil brushes were created equal. There is something about this brush that turns you into the greatest makeup artist in the history of the world. It's so tiny, but so powerful. I don't know what it is about this brush, but it is incredible. You need this for your lower lash line. Like I use it everywhere on my lower lash line. I use it on the outer part, then I grab another one, the same brush, and I use it to do my inner corner. I love this brush so much. Like, I want to have it on a little pedestal with candles around it, and I just want to like bow down and pray to it every day. Oh, I almost forgot to mention this brush, the M433. This is a perfect spot-on dupe for the MAC 217, the Sigma E25, like your basic run-of-the-mill blending brush. This is incredible. I actually think this is better than the MAC 217. It's very thin, like it's very, not tapered, it's just not too fluffy, and you can really get into your crease, or you can use it, I even use it to put shadow on my lid. I love this brush. This brush is amazing. I think I have 4 of these now. I just ordered 2 more. I do pay for some of my Morphe brushes, by the way. This brush, you guys, if you've been lusting after the MAC 217, or the MAC 217 is like your favorite brush in the world, give this one a try. It is so much cheaper, just as good, if not better. Yes, yes girl. Another one that I really like is the E17. This is another really good just eyeshadow brush. It's fluffy, but it's smaller. I use this a lot with black eyeshadow if I just want to get a little bit on the outer edge just to deepen things up. This one's really good because it is fluffy, but it's very small, so you can kind of control where the shadow's going. You guys, these eye brushes are like, my heart is just a pumping, girl. It is just a pumping. I know I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not like staying with one collection, but just bear with me. The Gunmetal 13 brush, the G13, this is another one that you guys have seen me use a lot. I like this for the crease. I like it for putting shadow on the lid. It's really nice because, again, it's very thin, which obviously I'm into, but it's still kind of fluffy. So it's great for any type of eye shadow application. Crease, lid, you can even use this on your lower lash line. This one has many, many jobs. I just love the gunmetal ones. Like, they're so sleek and beautiful, and stop massaging that brush. There are so many good ones. I just could sit here all night and talk about makeup brushes. Is that weird? Oh, this one I've been using for putting shadow on my brow bone. This is the E14. This is a fluffy, it's like a fluffy slash flat shader brush. That's how I kind of think of it. This is really good for packing shadow on your brow bone. You can use this for your inner corner. You could even use this one to blend out concealer on your face. So many uses. Okay, we're almost done, I swear. The M510 I love for highlighter. I use this for my under eyes. I've used it for eyeshadow before. You seriously have to do every motion as you talk about it. Like, I can't help it. Physically, I cannot stop. I hope it doesn't bother you guys too much. I love a white-haired brush. I don't think that's any secret. I just feel like it looks like a makeup brush when it has the white hairs. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks like very professional. This is an amazing brush. I love this brush. I feel like no other brand does this brush right here. Oh, I almost forgot about this one because it was in my purse. This brush I keep in my purse all the time, every day. This is the M500. Another one that I feel like is very unique. It kind of looks like your typical, where is that brush? Like the tulip shaped brush, but it's so much larger. This I keep in my purse and I use it to touch up with powder, like if I need to touch up my under eyes, if I need to touch up my forehead. This is just, I love this brush. I love it so much, and it's so soft. Mine is kind of beat up because I just had it like sitting in the bottom of my purse. But a very, very unique brush. No other brand does this brush unless it's like a $5,000 brush from like a super crazy fancy brand. But no, like Sigma, Morphe, Sedona Lace, nobody does this brush. Hey, look, it looks flimsy. Okay, so I hope that this video helped you guys. Again, I'm gonna say it, the E series from Morphe is hands down their best collection. I actually think it's my favorite brush collection ever. It's just, everything is good. The face brushes, the eye brushes, there is not one brush in that collection that's not good. So any of them, do it, you'll love them, I promise. Oh, and by the way guys, I am an affiliate with Morphe. You guys know how much I love Morphe. I love them before I was an affiliate with them, but I do have a code. It is YWP in all caps. Now if you do use my code, I do get a small portion of it as commission, so I just like to put that out there so you guys don't think that I'm like trying to slip this code in for you without being upfront. So if you use my code, I appreciate it, but I do get a little bit of a commission, so you can take it from there. So yeah, I think that that is everything. I feel like we have been here for quite a long time, but it's makeup brushes. Like, is anybody else obsessed with makeup brushes? You know, I love my makeup, I love my nail polish, but when I see a new set of makeup brushes, whew, I get a little hot and bothered under the hood. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope that this video was helpful. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye!
Okay, I think I just had lipstick on my teeth the entire video. We're just gonna have to ride with it, ride that wave into the sunset, because this bitch is not refilming. Snap, snap to your mama. And it's like if you just want to buff it in, not buff it in. Take it down! Take me down to the So, thank you guys. Okay, we done so. D-O-N-Z-E-O. Wait, D-O-N-Z-E-O. And I was actually in a spelling bee. Where is that stinking brush? How many E27s does a girl need? Holy cramps. Oh, look, I look like a bodybuilder. That is disgusting. This one's just a little bit smaller. This one's just a little bit bigger. Go figure. Durr. Right? It's like a big stick with a fluffy ball. Here comes Peter Cottontail, up and down the bunny trail. Yeah, this one you can also use for... I do have a code with Morphe. You guys have seen me use this brush every time when I do my makeup. Before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. Like, you are straight up, like, going to the hospital because my makeup brush doubles as a nunchuck. Don't play with me, fool.